This is really just another perfect example of the DC elite trying to dictate how we should live.
That's we, you're DC elite.
Oh, no, actually, I'm from here. I'm from Deer Lacken.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
No,
that's, what are you even doing?
I'm from
Well,
here.
that's always a great and
Thank you
spirited
so much.
discussion.
Welcome back to GMT Extra. The film Irresistible follows a Democratic strategist played by Steve Carell, that guy right there. He tries to help a local candidate, Chris Cooper, win an election in a small right-wing town. It's directed by Jon Stewart and has a great cast: Mackenzie Davis, Topher Grace, Natasha Lyonne, and Rose Byrne. Here's more from the Aussie-born actress.
And I hate to be interrupting lunch right now. I'm so sorry.
Whoa, please, it's like a junk food snack. It's not. I shouldn't be eating it. It's potato chips.
Oh, no worries. Hey, speaking of snacks, what has been your go-to one pandemic snack, and have you acquired any new hobbies during quarantine?
I can make a really mean cocktail. My specialty is penicillin. I did it on Jimmy Fallon. And it's quite a labor-intensive, quite a complex cocktail, but I crushed it. I've just been eating badly. I've been trying to reverse it, but I think I allowed myself some pandemic pounds, and now
That's a new one. I haven't heard that one yet. That's good. That's good.
I
But you know,
just came up with that then, by the way. It's so cheesy.
the quarantine 15, pandemic.
Yeah, the
pound.
quarantine 15.
Yeah, there you go. Look, a nice LaCroix to wash it all down. But you know,
Yeah.
we're all in this together, so not a big deal at all. Hey, I want to talk to you about, of course, the content of The Irresistible. It is a satire. But after I watched it, I thought, I wonder how often behind the scenes with this incredible cast that you get to be a part of, did an actual breakout of political conversation take place? Like, who's the first person to be like, hey, actually, let's discuss this? And how did that usually end?
I think like any set, you do have your water cooler moments where you are all comparing political stories or point of views, and particularly in a show like this where that is the topic of the. But I think it just, even in this time, it's so it's just so topical all the time. So I feel like it's more part of the dialogue now than ever.
Yeah, well, you know, speaking of, are you hoping when people watch this, it's going to be more of like comedic relief because of the climate of just the world around us right now, or maybe more thought-provoking?
I hope people watch this, and then I hope they vote.
Oh, that's great. Do you want to take a moment to encourage people to go and vote?
Yes, I'm going to take a moment to encourage people to go and vote. Yes, vote.
There we go. All right. Now, I think the movie really pulls back the curtain of, and actually it was very enlightening to me, which I'm a little ashamed to say, but I guess that's also kind of what the movie's going to do. It's going to enlighten, it's going to inform, kind of educate a little bit, to maybe go do some research to see where political parties are actually spending their money. How does it feel to kind of be a part of something like that, even with a comedic approach?
Well, Jon was very upfront with that perspective when we first spoke, that neither side is spared the satire or the humor or the lampooning, but the expose of the piece is knowledge, which we don't. Knowledge is power, right? And it's really it's informative in a humorous way, but it's disturbing. And I think the larger point people can take away for themselves or not or whatever, but there's an opportunity here to really kind of see something that perhaps me too. I thought I knew about the American political system. I was like, yeah, I get it. And then I was like, oh, I don't know anything about this. This is so complex and confusing, and it's supposed to be.
Yeah, let's talk really quick to the parents out there. I know you were a mother. How are you talking to your son about what's going on right now? You know, it could be politics or even the protest or even the pandemic. Are you kind of taking that and explaining it to a kid?
We take it day by day. They're both very curious, and when things come up or images they see come up, we try our best to explain them in a compassionate way. And but it's challenging, like any parent. I'm still trying to figure out the dialogue, and I look to a lot of resources myself to help with that. But it's an ever evolving conversation.